We took our baby on our first airplane ride, and it didn't go the way we thought it would. You know, while going through security, it was actually a breeze. Even getting on the plane was pretty good. We thought we were the G fam. What we were not prepared for is our baby pooping the moment the plane was taking off. Honestly, this was our worst nightmare because we had to sit with it until the plane leveled off and the pilot turning on, you know, the seatbelt sign. And no one warned us that these bathrooms were so small. It made it infinitely harder to clean the baby. So I know you're probably asking where we're going. We're heading down to Fort Lauderdale to check out apartments. Obviously, we're moving soon. We wanted to check on things to get a sense of the area, to get a sense of what life might be like, you know, living there. This is us getting into our rental car. This was actually a pretty good rental car. It was the first time I was driving a Genesis, and I think I enjoyed it. Once you're going, you have to make sure we didn't have the baby seat, the thing that they usually have. And so we were learning how to do it with the seat belt right here. I think it came out pretty good, but you'd have to ask my wife. It was still a bit shaky. Afterwards, we checked in and we kind of went downtown. I don't know if this is downtown, but it was this place called Mamacita. I'll pull up the link so you guys see it. Such a fun vibe. Enjoyed it. One thing that was really windy. But yeah, as we were walking, we were just like going around trying to see what's there. I think this was a Thursday night. I need to double check. But yeah, we had a good amount of fun at this place. We just rolled up, we were able to get a seat. They had live music playing. And so I think we really, you know, this was a spot I think we could see ourselves coming back into. I'm gonna show you guys the apartment. Definitely check it out. This was an Airbnb. I think we were in Dave, so we thought we were gonna live here. We end up not living in this particular neighborhood, but we got an Airbnb. As I said, we just wanted to mimic what it would look like to even live in this area as much as possible. And so this is what we were just working on. This was a Airbnb, 1 bedroom. I think the Airbnb was pretty good. Nothing to write home about. The only thing for us, obviously, we have to put up the baby, so that was there. Then we were off. This was the first apartment we saw. We saw several apartments throughout our trip. I think we saw at least 10 over the 3 days. So many different opportunities, so many different amenities. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like at the end of the day I probably had, you know, decision fatigue. Still at the end, I don't know if I'll show you, but we did eventually find one that we were able to see in the last minute. But just want to show you some of the spots that we were able to see.
Porque paisano mató a paisano y date la de buen consorte pa' yo también hacerme sano. Que ya yo me especialicé, ser turista pa' tu verano. Contigo mejor no coger ni lucha, porque tú sabes que soy sacador de mano. Ahora que se puso bueno, vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Y ahora que se puso bueno, vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo.
This is a pretty cool one that we saw. They had their own kind of garden. I think my wife really enjoyed this. That the idea that she could go downstairs in the apartment and get something from the garden there. So yeah. As I said, we saw quite a bit. Definitely lots of options. And I'd imagine by this time, I remember I was just like, man, I'm tired. I was like, I'm tired. Some of them had good closets. Some of them had good pool. But really and truly, as you're going through this, one of the things that we were trying to wrap our head around is, how is it that, like what are non-negotiables? Initially, we wanted a 3-bedroom. And so we were trying to wrap our head around, like, are there any options there? And then the 3 bedrooms were really expensive. So then we came to a 2-bedroom. And then, I think we ended up back at a 3-bedroom, which is so funny to think about as we went through. Obviously, we wanted space for the baby. This is also, I think it's called Downtown. I'll drop the link so you guys can see. We wanted to go check out the beach because we come to Florida quite a bit, and we realize that we don't go to the beach as much as we think. Either it's too cold. So this was a day we just rolled up, which was really cool, that we didn't actually need a pass or anything. We just rolled up and went by the restaurant. And this was just, we wanted it to said, like, if this is a thing that we feel like we're going to be doing on a regular weekend, what might it look like for us to mimic living in this area over, a weekend or a week. So I feel like this is something that me and my wife will typically do. We're always looking for things to do. I think it's even going to be even better with a baby. We want to take her to the beach or the pool as much as possible. And so this is us checking this out. This was not crazy packed. The pool was. And I'd imagine it's like that, where you can come by, you can stop by, you can, you can definitely check it out in a way where you don't need a reservation, because it's an hotel. It's also, people have conferences there. The idea that we could just roll up, find a place to chill out, get a table and just not having to pay was pretty good for us.
Aprendan que todos los seres humanos no somos iguales. Es que te va a hacer hermano, te lo dice, pero habrán señales. No me preocupa que todo me salga mal, porque de todo se sale. En realidad nada es real, porque las buenas todos son reales. Y a mí no me hablen de amistad, porque paisano mató a paisano. Y dátela de buen consorte, pa' yo también hacerme sano. Que ya yo me especialicé, ser turista pa' tu verano. Contigo mejor no coger ni lucha, porque tú sabes que soy sacador de mano. Ahora que se puso bueno, vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Y ahora que se puso bueno, vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo.
Thank you.
But yeah, so if you want,
But then the bar would still be open. I don't have to order drinks.
No, bar is still open.
Okay,
Just
cool.
the kitchen is
Yeah,
the drinks.
okay.
So let's do the food first, and then
Yeah.
bar is open all the time.
can I do the Caribbean wings?
Okay. You like ranch or
Ranch. Does it come with like oh, it does say celery.
Aprendan que todos los seres humanos no somos iguales. Es que te va a hacer hermano, te lo dice, pero habrán señales. No me preocupa que todo me salga mal, porque de todo se sale. En realidad nada es real, porque las buenas todos son reales. Y a mí no me hablen de amistad, porque paisano mató a paisano. Y dátela de buen consorte, pa' yo también hacerme sano. Que ya yo me especialicé, ser turista pa' tu verano. Contigo mejor no coger ni lucha, porque tú sabes que soy sacador de mano. Ahora que se puso bueno, vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Y ahora que se puso bueno, vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo. Vamos a ver cuál de los dos es más malo.
Later that night, we ended up going downtown again. I'll drop the name of the restaurant that we went to. I think it was a pretty cool restaurant. I don't know if it's as kid friendly as we thought it would be, but most aren't. One of the things that we try to do as parents is not have our kid, basically affect us, and so we try to bring as much places as possible. Oftentimes we call ahead, we let them know, hey, we have a kid coming. And most, restaurants are typically fine with that. They're like, as long as they can take the noise or anything like that. This, I think, is one of the, the more upscale restaurants in the area. And so we checked it out. Food was fairly decent. As you can see, it's called YOLO. There's some really fancy cars outside. People are pretty dressed up. And as I said, we really just wanted to get a sense of what does an average Saturday night might look like for us, or a Friday night. As we were thinking about living in the area. We'll see.
We have tried to do this beach day multiple times actually in your 6 months of life, but the weather is never on our side. Now we don't know if the weather is going to be on our side because it's also been windy. But let's see how it is today. Yes. Should we be taking a beach detour when we should be house hunting? No. But will we be taking an opportunity whilst we're in Florida? Yes. Right, Poopy? We are down in Hollywood, Florida, trying to get to the Hollywood beaches. This is our first time going to, right? Typically when we come here, we go to Miami to go to the beach on South Beach. But now we're gonna be trying Hollywood. We walked by Dania Beach. It was very windy and it was in the night. Then which beach did we go to? We went to Fort Lauderdale Beach on Saturday. Well, we went to like the beach club vibe. But the beach itself was not.
Oh, forget about that.
Yeah, there were a lot. We planned to go to the beach on Saturday. There were large waves, crashing waves, and it was bleak and windy, and it just wasn't. It wasn't the vibe. So this is our third attempt on this trip to go to the beach. Today we're going to Hollywood Beach. Baby's excited, right? Right, Papa? Say, I'm excited. Kick if you're excited. Okay, we're gonna say that it was an inside excitement. Let's go. So we were told on coming on this trip that Young Circle is a nice up and coming area. Check it out. Unbeknownst to us, Young Circle has a rent that is beyond our understanding for up and coming area. Actually, let's not.
I will say the first day we went to the pool, I walked on the sand. It was very windy and there's a lot of people out there. So we actually didn't end up going into the water, or it wasn't really a good beach experience. We just sat by the restaurant. So the next day we had some time to spare. We decided, hey, why not go down by the beach? It was less windy, so we were excited about that. As I said, we stopped at a coffee shop, have to get our coffee. But the idea is like, what would a normal, like a Sunday morning beach look like for us, as we get up and go in. If we felt like, hey, we wanted to go to the beach on a Sunday, this is what we were essentially trying to do. You could rent stuff by the beach, and which is what we did. So we were able to get some beach rentals to just lay out, enjoy with the fam. And I would say that this this was a successful trip. It gave us a good idea of where we might live. One of the things that you tend to see is that when you go on the website of the apartments to see what's available, very rarely are they going to tell you what's in the surrounding. If you don't know the surrounding areas, you might end up in somewhere weird. So this trip was a success because we were able to really get a look at what is happening in the surrounding areas. If we chose a particular apartment, you know, what the environment looks like. It was good to do it as a family, so we knew everything. We knew where a lot of the restaurants were or the supermarkets, so that was really cool for us. And, you know, we're thinking we're about to be about 20 minutes from the beach, 20 minutes from work, so in a central located area, and 20 minutes from the airport. So that is a big thing for us. We are definitely moving to Fort Lauderdale, so I'm excited about just being by the beach, getting the good weather. I think my wife is too, and I think their baby will be enjoying it as much as possible. Anyways, thank you all for being here. Stay tuned for more updates as we make this transition. Bye.